Attention, gamers! It's me, your boy, Wattles Talk here. Yup, that's right, I have a TikTok and the important news, the call to action here. Go to the TikTok, drop a follow. There's a link to it down in the description below. As of the recording of this video, I've already hit 500 on there, but 500 is simply not enough. Not impressive at all. So, go down below, follow the TikTok for memes, the 6 dances, and low quality videos. Oh yeah. But the Minecraft Guide world. I love this world, and guess what? Obviously, if you can read numbers and you know how they work, we're getting close to episode 50. Oh boy, episode 50. That means world tour. World tour and download will happen at episode 50. I've been seeing more and more questions about it lately. Must be because the world is getting spicier and spicier. Episode 50, world download. Now, how about episode number 44, today's episode? What is this episode all about? Well, you see, elites, in a couple episodes' time, I'd like to freshen up the iron farm, get it looking perfect. But right now, we have a problem. The iron farm is across the water, and this island over here, this area where we've been building, is starting to get a little bit full. So today, I think it's finally time to build a bridge going from here to there. Today's episode is all about bridges. Ho ho, beautiful, beautiful bridges. One of my favorite things to build in Minecraft, no lie. I love building bridges. Bridges are so fun, and I can't believe I haven't built one in this world quite yet. I've ashamed myself. Quite literally, it's disappointing. And thankfully, building a good bridge is actually really easy if you just follow the basic steps. Once you build a couple bridges, every single bridge after that will get really easy. So, of course, bridge tutorial time. When you're building a bridge, you gotta find somewhere that you need a bridge, so we need a bridge right here. After that, I always recommend coming in with like dirt or some kind of temporary block and kind of marking out where you want your bridge to be. So I'm thinking that my bridge should probably start right here and just go right across, and it'll be a couple blocks off of the ground. I really don't recommend setting your bridge right on top of the water unless that is the specific vibe you're going for. So what we're gonna do is start right at the edge of the land here. So that's 1. Then we're gonna go ahead and count it. 2, 3, 14, and 15. Oh my gosh, this is literally perfect. 15, that's gonna be perfect. So this area is 15 blocks long. Start with some temporary blocks. After that, start thinking about the shape of your bridge. It might sound weird, but what do you want your bridge to look like? I mean, do you want it to be a flat bridge? Do you want it to curve downwards? Do you want it to curve upwards? In my experience, if you're curving a bridge downwards, it should probably be from like one cliff to another cliff. Like if I were doing the bridge from like here to an area over there that's just as high, I could do a bridge that curves down a little bit. That would look really good. Also, bridges that have this downward curve shape are usually best when they're a little bit longer, at least in my opinion, because then you can make the slope more gradual and it actually looks good. Now, bridges that curve up. Well, bridges that curve up are actually kind of the opposite. In my opinion, if you're doing a bridge that curves up, I recommend having that bridge be a little bit shorter. So this right here, 15 blocks, that's kind of a long bridge. So a curved up bridge, it would look cool, but it probably just wouldn't really work here. But let's say I really wanted to do that curved up bridge, well then maybe over here it would work. If I were to pull the land out a little bit on both sides, then I could have a curved up bridge that's like 7 blocks long or something, and that would look really good. Finally, today's bridge type, the flat bridge. Flat bridges are best when you have a longer gap. A longer gap, in my opinion, is anything longer than like 10 or so blocks. Of course, it does depend on your build scale though. If you have smaller builds, like these builds are smaller, small to medium size, I would say, then this would be a longer gap. I mean, that's probably just as long or almost as long as that house over there. So yeah, relatively pretty long. If you have a longer gap, try doing a flat bridge, just like this. Step 1, the location, the shape. We got both of those down. Location, right here, shape, flat bridge. Now we need to think about what we want our bridge to be built out of. So today, I already know exactly what I want to do with my bridge. I want grass on top of this bridge, and I don't have a Silk Touch pickaxe on me right now, so easy. We'll just walk the grass right up here, it'll fill in. I also know that I want this bridge to be a little bit wider than 1 block. Now, when thinking about the base of your bridge, really think about the style that you're building in. If you're building in a medieval style, then probably don't do like some futuristic bridge. It wouldn't match. It wouldn't look very good. We're kind of building in an interesting style that I still haven't named quite yet. We're building in this style, and I think this bridge would look really good if it were grass and path blocks and coarse dirt, which is, spoiler alert, or not spoiler, have you been here? My favorite type of bridge. I love these bridges with like the grass on them and the paths and everything. It looks really natural, earthy, and yeah, that's the exact vibe that I like. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk this up a little bit. Hopefully the grass will fill in sooner or later. It'll fill in, and then we'll be able to come back in with the path blocks and everything like that. A couple other great blocks that work amazingly for bridge bases are, of course, the wood blocks. Like any type of wood, you can make it work. Try making a little bit of variation, so maybe like 2 types of wood, or depth, or maybe holes or something. Or the stone blocks, things like cobblestone and gravel, those will work amazingly as the path to your bridge too. So we're gonna have a grass bridge, and the path is gonna kind of look like this on it. Maybe we'll put a little bit of coarse dirt, so we'll basically have it match the jungle path. So it almost feels like we're not even on a bridge. Now, we need to talk about the sides of the bridge after we finish the floor, or at least have an idea with the floor. I'm thinking that we could either go with wood would look good, and it would match everything, it would match like the boardwalk and everything, or we could go stone. And the stone would make the bridge stand out a little bit more. And yep, stone standing out. That's definitely, absolutely what I want. So we're going to grab a bunch of cobblestone. We'll grab some blaze rods from over here in the terribly messy storage room. And then probably a stone cutter too. In fact, no. Wait, I think there's a stone cutter out here actually. Oh yeah, there's a stone cutter right there, but it's not close enough. I'm going to do that. I always do this. I know. We need a stone cutter. And actually, while I'm at it, my brain has swelled to... Oh. I was going to say it swelled. I was going to make a crafting table and say, look, I'm not going to make a crafting table, but there's a stone cutter in there. Don't worry about it, okay? Now, you may be saying to yourself, Wattles, an entire episode on bridges, isn't that excessive? Isn't that crazy? Why a whole episode? My answer, yes. Just plain and simple. Yes. And then that meme, you know the meme. Yep. That's the answer. Honestly, I have to go mining with the Silk Touch pickaxe like ASAP here because I just don't have very much stone. I shouldn't have to cook up cobblestone every single time. I mean, I guess it's that, or I just build like an auto smelter and mine with a fortune one. Alright, so we're gonna have to wait for a lot of the stuff to cook up, but we can get started. So I'm thinking stone bricks for sure. I also know for a fact that I'm gonna need staircases and slabs. And I'm bringing in the big guns here. Check this out, grass block right there. Yes, I pulled out the Silk Touch pickaxe. Then we can easily move up here and boom. I mean, we're gonna have to wait a long time, but boom, right there. That's gonna spread in, that's gonna be perfect. Alright, so we got this bridge. It's 15 blocks long. Remember, we counted it when we were placing these blocks down here. Now, by the way, when you're working on the base of your bridge, before you move on to the step with the sides, think about how wide you want your bridge to be. If it's a longer bridge, I recommend going maybe a little bit more wider. Also, if it's a main bridge, like an important bridge, a little bit wider too. I like to do 3 or 5 blocks. I really never do evens, including with the length. If your bridge is an even amount of blocks, I recommend fixing that. Like go a little bit farther on one end or trim it down or something. Get it to an odd amount of blocks. Why? Well, you'll see in a minute. So we're going to actually go ahead and build out here. We're going to start right here with a torch. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the 6th one, we're going to place a torch right there. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then same thing, the 6th one right there. Then we have the section of 3 right here. And then we have another torch right over here. So, right here, we have a 5. That's definitely a problem. We're going to want to try and make everything symmetrical. So, now we need to fix it. So, 3, and we put a torch there. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, right here at this part, we basically have to mess around with the torches and try and make everything symmetrical. Now, what am I doing here? Why 5 and all of that stuff? Well, I personally really strongly believe in arches. Arches are beautiful. And if you could have a section of 5, you can create quite literally the perfect arch. So now we could have an arch in here like underneath the bridge, and then an arch over there underneath the bridge as well on like the support side, which will look amazing. Then we have the section of 3s at the beginning for whatever else we decide to do there. I mean, we could honestly maybe even start the bridge staircases right here and have it just go arch, arch, and then boom, it's done. But odds here. Odds are the big thing that I'm trying to talk about. I always recommend building in odds because it just works so much better. I mean, seriously, check this out. So we can go all the way down here. These are just temporary blocks for now. Then we can go a staircase right there. We can fill that in a little bit more, a little bit more, all the way to here. And then we can do a staircase right there. Now we have that arch, or we could step it up a little bit more by doing something like that. Now we have like a better arch in there, which is definitely better. Or we could go ahead and trim trim those out and have the sides showing a little bit if we wanted that look, and it's still an arch, which looks really, really good. Now, I actually think I want this look, the sides showing. I'd also like to mix basalt in here. I think basalt would work so well with this gray palette, like the side blocks. So maybe we have basalt like underneath this thing for an extra support. Definitely don't need 2 pickaxes there, by the way. But there we go. Maybe we do like basalt under here. Then we could have like the dirt showing through a little bit. I feel like that's cool. And then we'll work on the top after. But for now, this is a pretty solid start. So we'll go ahead and do the same exact thing on the other side. We'll come in here and create an arch. Arches are always amazing. And I mean, come on. On a bridge, the arches, oh, they fit so well, right? That looks so good. So a little bit more basalt over here. And what we're going to do, by the way, is focus on one side of the bridge right now. We're going to try and basically make this side look really, really good. And then all we'll have to do is copy it on the other side. So that comes out like that. We have a little bit of depth in there, which is cool. We could pop these out even more and have even more depth, but I don't know if that really makes sense right there. These are kind of more just holding up the bridge, if you will. Instead, I think we could pop something out like right in here. Now we'll pop it out a little bit higher, so we'll make the bridge a little bit more interesting. You have to remember that this pole right there, this beam, whatever you want to call it, the support will go up a little bit more past this, so it won't look as weird. So these are temporary blocks. We're going to have something popping out here. Off the top of my head, maybe polished stone bricks would look good, or an entirely different gray block, like maybe cobblestone or mossy cobblestone. Speaking of mossy cobblestone, block variants. Let's talk about that really quick. You definitely want to use block variants, especially if you're using something that has variants, like stone bricks. So like mossy stone bricks, cracked stone bricks, you know, those things, but put them in after. Like, get the shape in first and then come back and detail it. Okay, so we have something that looks like that. So far, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and figure out these end caps now. So, of course, we want to get up and down onto this bridge easily. This is what I'm thinking. We could actually maybe just push this all back. Instead of having that go out 3 on either side, we'll just start the staircases right here. So it'll hang over the water a little bit. If we have to, we can come back in here and, of course, just terraform the water a little bit. You know, take the water away, and then it'll work perfect. Now, I'm not 100% sure about these end caps quite yet. I think we'll have to finish with these things, for the most part at least, but I'm thinking maybe like a staircase block and then a staircase block, and then over here I'll raise the land up so it doesn't go all the way down. I think that'll look good. And then same thing on the other side. We'll do staircase block, and then I raise the land to like this level right here leading up to the bridge. That'll look pretty good. Now, let's go ahead and put these temporary blocks in here and actually go back to the sides. So, in terms of other gray blocks that would work here, andesite. That could work, and that would look pretty nice. But, instead of that, I'm thinking maybe andesite down here. I think that would look a little bit more cool. Now, if we wanted to, which I do think we want to, we're going to actually dig this down a little bit more to add some room for detailing in here. In terms of terraforming around the bridge, really, it's up to you. You do whatever you like, but I highly recommend that you do it. If you make the area around your bridge look good, the bridge is also going to look better. So here's what I'd like to do. Maybe andesite down there, then a wall block right there. Look at that. That's instantly making that support leg right there look a whole lot more interesting. So andesite right there, wall block. Now, if we didn't really like the andesite down there, we decided it was way too clean, maybe we get something that's a little more worn out looking. So maybe like cobblestone. Cobblestone definitely looks like it's been weathered by the water a whole lot more than the andesite. So I think I'm going to pull the andesite out and put cobblestone here. And then remember, block variants, that's going to come last. So we can come back in here after with like mossy cobblestone in there. That would look really good. And to step it up even more, we can put other rocks on the ground under here. Probably cobblestone slabs would be better though because of the size of our bridge. So this is what we have right now. Now back to this spot right there. We said andesite. That would work. We could do cobblestone. That would work, but it looks a little too similar to the basalt. So we could do maybe like polished or smooth stone right there. That would look good, but it's a little too modern for my liking. So we can switch it up entirely and do something flashy right here. Gold. It's absolute garbage, but check it out. This will definitely, absolutely, not a doubt about it, stand out on the bridge and look good and fancy. I mean, check it out. Definitely take a step back every once in a while. Look at it. Definitely good energy right there. I like it. So what we're going to do is gold blocks in there. The gold blocks, in my opinion, they're going to look great. Now the top of the bridge. So we have a couple different options here. We could do like walls. Walls would work. We could fill in with walls and those will all connect and it'll look nice. Option number 2. More blocks. We can do blocks, but that'll make everything feel cramped. So maybe not blocks. Option number 3, slabs. We could do like slabs down here, or we could do them up here. That would look good. It'll stay open if we did slabs though. Or blocks, we'd want to pop these up to add a little bit more detail, so that would work. We could also do iron bars, and iron bars might be one that we come back to. Or we could do something a little bit more fancy. We could grab staircases in here, some type of staircase, I don't know, and do that. So then we kind of create a rounded shape in here, and then what we could do in the middle is like some fences, like over there, or even iron bars, which I'm thinking maybe iron bars. But looking at this bridge up here, now that we're starting to get the side in, I see the bridge width, and I'm like, hey, I don't really like it. So let's go ahead and actually widen this bridge. This is a pretty major bridge. We're probably going to be crossing this a lot. I mean, I'm going to build a lot of builds over here, probably. So yeah, let's go ahead and make this a little bit more major. So what we'll do is we'll add 2 blocks to either side, or to this side, excuse me, and boom, there we go. We have a lot more of a central, main, important bridge. That's perfect. Now up top here, I'm thinking that we could add maybe even more depth here by doing that. Then, to finish it off, we do that right there. Now this is going to curve around though, so we might not really like that. That's going to be tricky. We're going to have to get the whole thing in to figure out if I like it. And by the way, I'm switching it up here and not just doing more stone bricks, because if we can switch the textures up, things will look a little bit better. But we will get a weird connection right there. So yeah, that staircase right there, that's probably going to have to go. Let's see. We have that curve going on there. It's kind of like, it's opposite what's going on down below. It would work. Maybe an upside down staircase there would be better. Yeah, that's definitely better, but it's still a little full in here. So what I'm thinking is we could do upside down staircase right there, creates an interesting shape, and then we could echo it over here. Another upside down staircase. We'll see a little bit of the dirt, but that's fine. That'll make it look a whole lot more detailed, I think. Okay, so staircase right there. That's definitely gonna make that look really sweet. That is cool. Okay, now finally, I think we could add even more detail in here and symmetry. We're keeping symmetry here. You don't have to do that, but you could by doing a staircase right there. But then we have that. I was excited about that one. Well, there is that as an option. We could do staircase like that, and then over here we would do the same thing. So we'd lower that down, and then in here we could do iron bars, and they will connect to the back of the staircase. That would look good, and then maybe in the middle in here we could do that. Ooh, to connect to that basalt right there. Oh, I think that's the one. Iron bars right there. Staircase right in there. Yep. And then over here it'll almost look like it's wrapping around this thing once we get everything in, I think. Okay, all right. Yep. That's the move, for sure, hands down. So yeah, really, when it comes to the side of your bridge, which is honestly maybe the most important part, it's really just a matter of messing around with blocks, trying things out. Unfortunately, I don't have any gigantic tips with this one other than just kind of experimenting. But one big thing, if you're really lost and you don't know what to do, remember, you could go watch a YouTube video on bridges, kind of like this one here. In fact, maybe that's already what you're doing. Or you could go to Google Images and look at some other pictures of other Minecraft bridges, and then maybe get some inspiration. Or, for that matter, it doesn't even have to be a Minecraft bridge. It could be a real-world bridge that you're modeling things off of. Now, today, I'm kind of just winging it, but it's always also a good idea to pre-plan things in a creative world. You might be able to figure out something in there that you really, really like, and also that you don't like. And also, of course, remember, it's a creative world, so you can try things out, mess around, build it, take it down, and it's a whole lot easier. And just because I'm going to be OCD like this, we're going to take the gold and have it go all the way into the bridge like that. I think it'll look good from down low, but how will it look from up here? Oh, that'll look good. It like peeks through. Yep, that's perfect. Another thing that we could do down here, just because I'm going crazy with the detail, don't always put a bunch of gaps, so we could try that out. That kind of works, but it looks really weak in there. You want to keep your bridges realistic, so we're going to actually take that out. Instead, what about that? Would that work? That would work, but same problem. It's a little thin in there, so maybe not that. How about, instead of that, that? I like that one where you can see that a little bit. That looks realistic and strong still. And then with the block variants in there, that'll look perfect. Take a step back every once in a while, take a look at your bridge, and then once you've decided that you're pretty happy with it, once you've pretty much finished one side of the bridge, I still do need to finish this end over here, finish some of the details, but once you've done most of one side, you can take a step back, take a look at it. If you like it, you're golden. If you don't like it, keep working on it. If you can picture your bridge with the block variants in, if you're going with variants, highly recommend. But if you can picture it, then you're good to move on to the second side. If you can't picture it, get your variants in, those mossy blocks, the cracked blocks maybe. Then go ahead and jump over to the other side. So I gotta catch the build up. The other side is quite lacking. It's pretty plain, which means I think it's time for a little vine farming, a little speed building, a little bridge building. The other side of the bridge is now officially caught up, and I caught up the land on this side of the bridge too. I have the path, the road, going right over to it now. All that I need to do is get maybe a little bit more details around that path, maybe some like rocks and stuff on the ground, and then definitely some lighting. But here we go. Here's the other side of the bridge, the side that looks over towards the iron farm. So, where I'd like to jump back in is down underneath this thing. I dug down a little bit more. I wanted to make a little bit more depth in here, make it look better. Then, on the underside of the bridge over here, I did stuff. Now, when it comes to the underside of your bridge, it's really up to you. You could leave it blank or just do something simple like a bunch of slabs, or you could put some more thought, some more detail into it. That's what I decided to do, so I did basalt running right under the middle, and then I actually trimmed it back over here, so this wraps around a little bit better. I put some slabs in here to add detail, and then finally, we're going to make a little bit of light under the bridge too. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention when talking about like planning your bridge, definitely consider boating. Do you want to ride under this bridge? In my case, yes, definitely. I do want to ride under this bridge, which means I could technically, actually, probably, I think maybe, have a small problem here because the bridge is really, really low. So anytime I need to move a villager under the bridge, what I'll probably have to do is come back in here and pull out a couple basalt blocks. Oh, we're not. Never mind. We're good. We're good. We're good. Yep. Okay, that's perfect. So see, I can ride under the bridge. I was thinking I would have to move the basalt out to do that, but no, we're good. Now, I decided to do the lighting under here because I think that would look really, really good at nighttime. So, there we go. There's the side of the bridge. It's pretty much exactly what you saw before, but it's just on the other side too, and I added iron bars right here. Now, let's go ahead and finish the bottom side. I wanted to plant some kelp down here. I think kelp would look really, really good. I did put some rocks in here too. I think the rocks look nice. And then finally, we're going to come in here with bone meal and plant some seagrass or grow some seagrass in here too. That'll look good. Once we have sea pickles, 100%. We'll come back in here with sea pickles, maybe even coral, to make this look even better. Another thing that we could do, lily pads, but I actually don't have all that many lily pads, so I'm going to skip that for now. So pretty much the last two things that we need to do are block some lawns on the bridge, we want it to be safe, and make the top look good. Let's start with making the top look good. So this is what I'm thinking. Path blocks all over this thing in a pretty random fashion, and then coarse dirt blocks as well. I'm thinking zero grass on top of this bridge at all, like none of it. So wherever I don't put path blocks, I'll come back in with coarse dirt. I think that'll make the bridge look good and traveled. Remember, this is meant to be like a busy bridge, which means it's like really walked on, really worn out. So to do that, coarse dirt, path, grass, I mean, it looks good. I love the color in the jungle, gotta say, but it definitely doesn't look worn out. Not at all. So there we go. Maybe something like this. We might have to come back in here and mess with the balance of path block to coarse dirt, like the ratio, but for now that should be good. Now, let's talk about lighting. Lanterns are beautiful. Lanterns are king. So what I think I'd like to do is probably lanterns on light poles. Now, when it comes to the light poles, I'm thinking spruce. What we could do is maybe have them come off of here. So we could go like, I don't know, 3 should probably be good. Then we can go over and we could hang the lantern. And then in other spots, we could actually build the light poles right on the bridge. I feel like switching it up and kind of doing it a little bit more random would look really good. Now, we could also, to make things look more random and good, make some light poles a little bit taller. So maybe this one goes all the way up to here, and then we have a lantern hanging down like that, then that one's a little shorter, and then maybe we'll do one more right there on that one. Okay, so we have that, and then that one's a little bit taller. I think that should probably be fine. These are simple poles. They're not the most detailed things in the world, but it should work. But here's the catch. By putting the light all the way up here, it may not actually effectively take out all of the spawns. So what we're going to do is come back in here with even more lanterns and put some on the ground to definitely make sure all spawns are gone on here. And then finally, we can come back in here and double check, and it looks like we're golden over there. We're going to probably need, like a lantern right there. Then we will be literally perfect. And wasn't feeling that tall one like that, so switch it up. Maybe a little bit of a curve. I feel like that looks nice. And then we could actually, okay, the phone just won't actually connect over here. So never mind. We can leave that alone. So, boom. There we go. Now we have a busy bridge, but I think we could actually maybe, just maybe, add a tiny bit more to it. I have a lot of hay. A lot of hay that needs to be harvested, but also a lot of hay that has been harvested. I think maybe, big maybe here. A couple hay bales, maybe, piled up on the bridge to make it look like like busy. Like, look at that. We have hay. It's kind of in the way. Yes, I know. But I think it looks good. It adds to the bridge. And then actually, maybe we could take a crafting table and put this on the bridge too somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. We could put it, this is tricky. We could put it like over here. That's not too in the way. Yeah, you see I could move through here. That's not bad at all. But yeah, a little bit of hay bales. I think that looks good. And then a crafting table over there. And then finally, maybe we could, if we wanted to, come in here with like a chest sitting there. Chests are always nice too. So a chest right there, boom. Yep, I think that looks good. I think this bridge is pretty much set, good to go. I don't think there's really anything else that we want to do to it. We could add stone buttons on here, but it's getting busy. You don't want to go overkill on the detail here, so I feel like that's good. Bridge building, step 1, figure out the location and the shape. Step number 2, what blocks are you going to be walking on? After that, work on detailing the sides, and remember, the sides are very, very important. Go crazy with the detail, but also, don't make it too crazy. Come back in after you get your basic shape in with cool detailing blocks. We're talking block variants or maybe just other blocks that look similar. Add some detail to the top of your bridge by adding things like lanterns and other detailing blocks like maybe hay bales and chests. And also, don't forget, whoa, that's a cave. That's a hole. I was saying also don't forget about the area around your bridge as well. Now today, I kept it pretty tight to the bridge. It would be a pretty good idea to detail like over here too, but we'll actually probably be filling this stuff in soon. Maybe come back in here and detail that with some more leaves. But yeah, we'll be filling things in very, very soon here, so I'm not going to worry about it today. Today, this bridge is literally perfect. This is exactly what I was imagining. Question of the day. Hey, Wattles, every time you open the barrels, the chests, we see that they will run out of space eventually. So, when is the big storage build coming? So update on the chest, you guys. Update on the chest. Aside from this chest right here, everything is full now, including my inventory. I have literally nowhere to put anything. There, okay, just kidding. Maybe not. But the storage building, good question. The storage building. I need to build it. I need to. And I'm thinking that maybe, a big maybe, it is a priority in this world, but it's not my biggest priority, but maybe very, very soon because we have this bridge in here now. So this area over here is looking really good, but it's also looking very crowded. You know, there wouldn't be much room for a proper storage building over here, but there would be a lot of room for a storage building, a really cool one, in fact, maybe sitting like right over here in that area, looking back towards everything that we built, so we'd have like a cool view. And fortunately, thankfully, after today's episode, we now have a bridge that actually goes over there too. So what am I getting at? Well, now that we have access officially, easily to more room, we can start building things over here. Not that they'll be built in this order necessarily, but sheep are over here. I'd love to build the sheep farm, storage building for sure. There's lots of room over here. I'm definitely thinking about putting it in there. And then other things on this side of the water too. There is a little bit more room over here too, but I don't think I'd like to put the storage building all the way over there. I think I'd like to keep it near this central lake area and definitely by the iron farm too, which by the way has been running all episode. So if you enjoyed today's episode, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, definitely follow my TikTok down in the description below. Getting on that grind, you don't want to miss it. And now let's check this out. Oh, but first, big shout out to my patrons, Neve and Unique Sarah. Thank you so much for the support. Iron, how much do we have? Oh boy, we are stocking up on iron a big time. That is definitely good. I like the looks of that. I think when I started the episode, I had like 2 stacks, a little bit more. Anyways, it's been me, your boy Wattles Talk. Goodbye, everyone.